We start with the big story, especially ahead of the Bihar state elections. It's a big jolt to the Rashtriya Janata Dal's first family, weeks ahead of the high-voltage election in the state of Bihar. A Delhi court today has framed charges in a corruption case against party founder Lalu Prasad. His son and Chief Minister face Tejashwi Yadav and former Chief Minister Lalu Yadav's wife, Rabri Devi. In its order, the Rouse Avenue court said the scam was planned with Lalu Yadav's knowledge and that the accused were part of a larger conspiracy. The court also said Lalu and his family benefited from the scam. Lalu and his family have been charged with several offences, including criminal conspiracy and cheating. The case relates to allegations of corruption in the allotment of maintenance contracts at IRCTC hotels during Lalu Yadav's tenure as railway minister from the years 2004 to 2009. It is alleged that the maintenance contract of 2 IRCTC hotels was awarded to a private company in a fraudulent manner. The CBI has alleged that in return for this deal, Lalu Yadav got 3 acres of prime land through a Benami company. The CBI filed a FIR against Lalu Yadav and his family members way back in 2017. A political face-off has broken out over the court order, with the BJP saying it is a reflection of the corruption perpetrated by Lalu and his family. The RJD has hit back, saying the BJP is misusing agencies for vendetta.
करप्शन, कुशासन और क्राइम का जो कुनबा है, वो कुनबा जो है वो फिर से एक बार जो है वो कानून के शिकंजे में फंसा हुआ है। और अगर आपका ये करप्शन, कुशासन और क्राइम का ये कुनबा जो है वो एक बार गठबंधन करके जो है वो फिर से कुशासन लाने की सोच रहा होगा, तो उनकी सोच पर भी जो है वो फिर से एक बार पब्लिक तो जनता की अदालत तो उसको जो है वो गच्चा देगी ही देगी, और कानून भी अपने हिसाब से काम करेगा।
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी और एनडीए के पाप का घड़ा अब भर चुका है। वो चाहती है कि पॉलिटिकल वेंडेटा का इस्तेमाल कर करके एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग करें और न्यायालय में साक्ष्य प्रस्तुत कर करके लालू यादव के परिवार को हम तंग और तबाह करें। जिन मामलों को बंद कर दिया गया था, बलात् उसको रीओपन कर करके न्यायालय में प्रस्तुत कर रही है। चुनाव माथे पर है, बिहार का चुनाव है, डरी हुई है भारतीय जनता पार्टी। इन किन प्रकार बिहार की सत्ता में आना चाहती है।
Of course, huge ramifications with this development. We have our reporters from New Delhi as well as Bihar joining us live. Nupur Dogra, legal correspondent, Aishwarya Jain joining me, Prabhakar Kumar, Ankit Tyagi as well. Nupur, let's begin with you since you're outside the court at this point. Tell us more about the charges. Explain the charges to our viewers.
Well, Vedika, the charges against Lalu Prasad Yadav is first of all misusing his office and conspiring into criminal conspiracy and cheating, and especially it is said that it is Lalu Prasad Yadav who was part of the larger conspiracy, and the court also observed that he misused and abused his power in position to hatch this conspiracy, where this particular hotel chain, Sujata chain, who is owned by Vinay and Vijay Kochar, the 2 other accused in the case, they benefited in a way that after they manipulated the tender process, and thus the management of VNR hotels, that are the IRCTC hotels, were handed over to them, and in return they gave 3-acre land in the name of Rabri Devi and Tejashwi Yadav, which were routed through a Benami company. Now these claims are being made that since Lalu Prasad Yadav was in fact the railway minister at that time, the CBI has made a detailed charge sheet and has also framed charges of cheating against Rabri Devi as well as Tejashwi Yadav. So this is in fact a big setback for the Yadav family. And remember, just another case, which is the land for jobs case, the Rouse Avenue court is also expected to deliver its verdict today only on framing of charges in that case also. And in that, more members of the Yadav family, which includes Lalu Prasad Yadav's daughter and Tej Prasad Yadav, are also accused. So it will be important to see that whether there is more setback from the Delhi court today for the Yadav family.
All right, let's go to Prabhakar now. Prabhakar, what is the impact going to be on the ground? You've been tracking all the developments politically and otherwise. What impact can we expect ahead of the big Bihar elections on the ground?
See, as far as these cases against Lalu Prasad Yadav is concerned, it's nothing new. But just because it has the fresh judgment has come in this particular case from the court, and the Bihar elections are already, the ball has set rolling out here. So this entire episode would play out in the election campaign, both from the opposition camp and also from the ruling camp. You will see the JDU and the BJP leaders using every dais, every political rally actually crying, talking about this and alleging Lalu Prasad Yadav of corruption charges, whereas they would play victim. That is the India Alliance leaders, especially the RJD, would play victim, and they would certainly try to make this point to the public that how they are being victimized during the election time and to disrupt the entire election campaign which they are carrying out. So this particular case, this particular episode of IRCTC scam would certainly be echoing in the coming Bihar campaign when it happens on the ground.
Ankit, you're also with us, and you've just spent more than 10 days in the state of Bihar. You've been on the ground, you've been interacting with the youth, you've been interacting with representatives of all political parties. Was this a talking point at all? We were expecting this case to come up, the framing of charges to happen, but was this really a moot point in Bihar?
You know, when you talk about the people, I mean, there are issues of the bread and butter that hog their, headspace at this moment. But you can't discount the fact that every time there is the opposition charge on Lalu Prasad Yadav and his family, it's particularly on three important things. Number one is the Jungle Raj, number two is corruption, and number three is, of course, the dynasty rule. Now, the timing of this, whether this is new or not, as Bhakan was saying, he's right. It's not new. These cases have been going on. For Lalu Prasad Yadav, remember, the BJP always says that these cases were not registered under their regime. It was registered under the UPA government. But the fact that the timing of this coming at a time when already the seat sharing of the NDA has happened, the Mahagathbandhan is still struggling to find their formula. This is going to have some sort of a news cycle and will hog the mind space as far as the voters are concerned. For a lot of undecided voters, those who are saying that they are bored of Nitish Kumar, it's been 20 years, when they think of a new alternative, the question then would be, would you want to go with an alternative which is already struggling or at least having corruption charges against them? And that is what Tejashwi Yadav will have to fight in the upcoming election.
Absolutely, a big challenge ahead of the elections for him, Aishwarya, isn't it? Given that the BJP now is saying, look at this family, it's been so corrupt for so long, and then you have the RJD saying, you are using your tools against us, be it the EC, be it the CBI, you're always using it against the opposition parties. Aishwarya.
Well, that's right. In fact, the Bharatiya Janata Party went on to say that this Mahagathbandhan is the face of corruption, and look at the charges that now have been framed against the Yadav family. This clearly shows that how they were involved in corruption, in criminal conspiracies, and this is what they were doing. In fact, the JDU also went on to say that this is the reason perhaps Lalu Yadav had been distancing themselves when they were in the power from the corruption, and they took corruption very lightly, and therefore the reason perhaps JDU differed with the RJD and they parted ways with them. But today certainly it is when the RJD and the Congress party clearly calling it a conspiracy, the cases that were shut down, then it was reopened again, and the timing that they were questioning, in fact, just before the Bihar elections, why the CBI filed the charge sheet, and now at this point in time the charges had been framed as well. This is all political witch hunt, a vendetta is what the RJD and the Congress party has been calling. Certainly later in the day in the national capital we will see perhaps Tejashwi Yadav meeting Rahul Gandhi, will be finalizing the seat sharing for the Mahagathbandhan in the upcoming Bihar Assembly elections, and therefore the reason perhaps they knew that this is going to happen, but certainly what impact this will be on the ground as far as Bihar Assembly elections are concerned, that remains to be seen.
Absolutely, and that key meeting this afternoon or evening with Tejashwi, Lalu Prasad and Rahul Gandhi, Aishwarya will bring us all the details on that. I'm going to go back to Ankit in a moment from now, but I believe Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has also reacted on this. Let's listen in.
आरजेडी का मैंने बयान देखा, वो कह रहे हैं कि आप लोग एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग करके ये कर रहे हैं और कोर्ट में साक्ष्य प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं।
अच्छा, ये क्या हम बीजेपी ने कहा था क्या कि आप जो है वो जॉब के बदले जो है वो लैंड लीजिए। क्या ये बीजेपी ने कहा था क्या कि आप करप्शन कीजिए? क्या ये बीजेपी ने कहा था क्या कि आप जो है वो घोटाले कीजिए? अरे भैया, आप घोटालों के गुरु घंटाल बने हुए हैं, उसके बाद आप कहेंगे कि जी हमारे साथ जो है वो अन्याय हो रहा है, इमोशनल अत्याचार करेंगे, वो नहीं चलेगा।
ये अभी चुनाव अब शुरू हो गए हैं, तो क्या ये चुनावी मुद्दा भी आप लोग बनाएंगे? चुनावी मुद्दा बनेगा ये?
देखो, ऐसा है, एक चीज़ आपको समझना चाहिए, ये गुनाहों का जो गठबंधन है, गुनाहों के गठबंधन की गठरी में जितने गुनाहों के छेद हैं, उससे ज़्यादा इनके अंदर जो है महत्वाकांक्षी मतभेद हैं। छेद को रफू करने, मतभेद को रफू चक्कर करने में चुनाव भी निपट जाएगा और ये भी निपट जाएंगे।
Ankit, ammunition enough for the BJP and another challenge for Tejashwi, who's been focusing on Berozgari, so much for him and his party to firefight at this point.
Absolutely. And when Tejashwi Yadav is going to speak about Berozgari, the BJP is going to say that, you know, the entire Rozgar was given only to the Lalu family. What else? What are you talking about the people? That is something that, and trust me, this is right now Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi and the other BJP leaders. Very soon you'll start hearing this from the top leadership, from the Prime Minister, from the Home Minister when they hit the campaign trail as far as Bihar is concerned. But I just wanted to make a very quick point, Vedika, when, as Aishwarya was also speaking about the JDU possibly coming out, and Prabhakar and I have been speaking about this on the ground. When BJP attacks, it's a different thing. When JDU comes out and says that Lalu Prasad family is corrupt, they knew that they were corrupt. These are not new cases. These cases were against them even when Nitish Kumar switched sides twice with the Mahagathbandhan and with the Lalu Prasad Yadav family. So today, the JDU coming out and saying we distance because they are corrupt, well, that is not going to cut ice. Whether the defense of the RJD does with voters or not, time will tell.
Yes.
But JDU can't claim innocence as far as this is concerned.